Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're jumping into a topic that is pretty much everywhere you look right now, artificial intelligence. But we're going to look at it through a specific lens. How can we, as people of faith, engage with this incredible new technology, not with fear, but with real wisdom and a sense of purpose? So, let's just get right to the question that's at the heart of all of this, isn't it? Is AI good or is it bad? You see all this amazing potential, but then you also hear these pretty serious warnings. It can feel like you have to pick a side. But what if that's the wrong question entirely? Here's a really powerful way to reframe it. AI isn't inherently good or bad. It's an amplifier. That's it. Whatever you bring to it, your intentions, your heart, your goals, AI is just going to make that bigger. So it's our posture, our approach, that really determines the outcome. To make this super clear, let's look at it through a biblical story. We basically have a choice between two ways of building. Two towers. You've got the Tower of Babel approach, using technology to make a name for ourselves, to grab control, and to rely only on our own systems. Or there's the Pentecost approach, using technology as a tool for mission, to empower lots of different voices, and to spread truth with courage. You see, the question isn't if we'll use AI, it's how. Okay, so how do we make sure we're choosing that Pentecost path? How do we actually do this in a practical way? Well, there's a really simple and memorable model for this. It's called the 4P framework. The framework is a simple 4-step process. You've got pray, prompt, partner, and prove. This whole structure is designed to make sure that when we use technology, we start by seeking wisdom and we end by taking full responsibility. Let's break down what each of these means. The first step, pray, is the foundation for everything else. Before we turn to artificial intelligence, we turn to God. And this is so important. True wisdom is a gift. This isn't just about checking a box. It's about setting our hearts right. We're asking for discernment, for clarity, and making sure that this amazing tool never, ever replaces the wisdom that comes from the Holy Spirit. All right, so once our hearts are in the right place, we can move on to the really practical skill of prompting. This is where the magic happens, you guys. The quality of what you get out of an AI is almost 100% dependent on the quality of what you put in. So a great prompt starts by giving the AI a job, a role. Don't just ask a vague question. Tell it who to be. For example, start with, "You are a marketing genius," or "You are an expert Old Testament scholar." This immediately frames its whole perspective and tells it what kind of knowledge to pull from. Next up, you need to give it a crystal clear goal. What does a win look like for this task? By saying something like, "Your goal is to brainstorm 3 catchy headlines," or "Your goal is to write a heartfelt prayer," you're giving the AI a very specific target to hit. Now this next one, this is what separates a generic answer from a really helpful one. You have to provide context. Remember, the AI has no idea what's going on in your world, so tell it, "This is for my small group of new believers," or "This is for a business proposal for a client in the tech industry." Context is what makes the response actually relevant to you. Okay, this next element is a total power move. Ask the AI to tell you its assumptions. Yeah, before it even starts writing, tell it, "First, list all the assumptions you're making about my audience." This is an amazing way to spot hidden biases or potential misunderstandings before they even happen. Then you've got to set your constraints. This is how you keep your own unique voice and your values front and center. You can define the tone, make it encouraging and warm, not academic. You can even set theological guardrails, like telling it to stick to a certain translation of the Bible. Constraints make sure the final product sounds like you. And finally, you gotta specify the output. Don't leave the format up to chance. Be super explicit. Give me the answer as a bulleted list, or write a 300-word devotional with a title, a key verse, and a short prayer. This way, you get something that's pretty much ready to use right away. So let's see how all these pieces come together. Look at this awesome example for a pastor. The role is set. The goal is super clear. The context, for my church community, is perfectly defined. It asks for assumptions, it sets constraints on Bible versions and tone, and the output is specific. A prompt that's this well crafted is going to give you a fantastic first draft. So you've written this killer prompt, but the process isn't over. The third P is to partner, and this is a big mindset shift. It's about moving from seeing the AI as just a machine you order around to seeing it more like a creative partner you can bounce ideas off of and refine things with. Partnering is all about that back and forth. Don't just accept the first thing it spits out. Ask for 3 different versions. Teach it your specific style. You can literally say, when I use the word grace, I mean God's active power in us, not just forgiveness. Refine the tone, change the length, and even ask it questions like, why did you pick that specific verse? You're basically training the tool to think more like you do. And that brings us to the final, and maybe the most important P of all, prove. Once you've got a draft you're pretty happy with, the responsibility shifts 100% back to you. You are the editor-in-chief. You own the final output, not the machine. A really great way to think about this is what we can call the junior analyst rule. Treat the AI like a really smart, really eager, but brand new assistant. Before you sign off on its work, make it show you its homework. Make it state its assumptions, verify its key facts, tell you what it couldn't find, and even give you a confidence score in its own answer.
This is absolutely key for dealing with one of AI's biggest problems, what they call hallucinations, which is just a fancy word for making stuff up. You can fight this proactively. You can use a grounded mode by telling it to only use a specific document you give it, or set it to zero guess mode. You can even tell it before you finalize, double check all your facts. These little commands make a huge difference in accuracy.
So, we've walked through the 4 Ps: pray, prompt, partner, and prove. What does it all add up to? Well, it's about seeing this as an act of discipling our digital tools. It's about stewarding this technology for a purpose that's way bigger than just getting things done faster. Which brings us right back to where we started, that choice. The Babel path uses AI to try and replace wisdom, and it leads to us just depending on the system. But the Pentecost path uses AI to serve a mission, and that leads to empowerment and truth. It's the same technology, but our posture and our process create completely different worlds. So here's the bottom line. AI isn't going to define our future. Our posture towards it will. As people of faith, we have this incredible opportunity to disciple our tools for good. But that means we have to actively choose things like grace and truth and listening to the Spirit over the easy temptations of just being faster and more efficient. And that brings us to the end. I want to leave you with this one final thought, a question to really take with you. As you look at your own life, your work, your ministry, how will you choose to disciple your tools this week?